let's talk about last night. I'm sorry, JP. Right? So I'm sorry, man. Your squad goes down, but it was a great game, great effort.
I mean, those were definitely the two best teams in South America that played. I mean, I'll be honest with you, like I'm so super proud of what they did. I'm not even like upset that they lost because the way that they played throughout the entire tournament was phenomenal. It made you so proud of being Colombian, but I mean, it's just hard to celebrate just the game in general with the extracurricular activities that were going on around the match. But a great job by Colombia. We'll see what happens now come World Cup time. A lot of people had them favorites here in Copa America. We'll see them in World Cup. But the bigger concern, Cuz, is that we have the World Cup coming here in 2026. This was a pretty big tournament that we just played here in the United States, and we were not prepared whatsoever.
Well, I read a whole piece about it, and it was just chaos.
Absolute
chaos. It felt like a really bad,
like a thriller movie you're watching.
Yeah, it was one of those weekends. I mean, we had an assassination attempt.
Yeah,
that came within an inch.
Crazy,
right? I mean, you think about how scary, how frightening in Pennsylvania of all places, right? And then last night in Joe Robbie, it's a mob scene. It's a complete mob scene last night.
And the thing is that like, cause like what you saw, the scenes that you saw last night at Hard Rock, like that's typical in South America. But that's the thing. Like you should be prepared. You should have seen what you saw in Copa Libertadores in 2018, where they shattered the opposing team's windows.
It was frightening. I mean, people going through the vents.
Yeah.
Like it was wild. Now, I read a piece. They said that the security completely dropped the ball. What's the governing body?
So it's CONMEBOL. CONMEBOL runs. It's the federation name of South America, and so they have to try to team up with whoever runs the stadiums or whatever,
right.
CONCACAF here in the United States. And so there was some type of disconnect. But like they were even talking about in the broadcast. I was watching in Spanish.
There should have been checkpoints. What the story said. This is what I read that. There's usually 3 checkpoints, like 3 around the perimeter.
Yeah.
And there was none.
Yeah.
If you go to these events in South America, there's blocks away from the stadium, there are security checkpoints.
Yeah.
And then you got to show your ID. And there's all kinds of layers that is built until you get to the stadium. Like, you can't have that. That was chaos.
Well,
especially after what happened on Saturday and how dangerous this whole world is.
The worst part about it, they were saying on the broadcast that they felt that in the stadium itself, in the stands, they didn't feel like there was enough security, too.
It was overrun.
It was overrun.
You saw what they did to the escalator.
Oh, my God.
It looked like those Walmart Black Friday videos.
Yes.
It was chaos.
It was complete chaos.
Bad. There were like people with legit tickets who they weren't able to get in. The one guy paid like $2,000 for tickets and couldn't get in.
No, I mean, that's just a mess.
Absolute mess.
And that's Miami. I mean, that's the United States.
They got 2 years to get together for this World Cup.
Yeah, they got a lot of work
I don't know that we're ready to handle anything like that.
No.
And we got games at like a financial field. I mean, what's interesting is that when you think about it, we are relative pikers when it comes to like these crazed fans. Like we think we're in Philadelphia, we're crazed fans, right? And compared to the rest of the country. But like what goes on around the rest of the world between all the soccer matches, even the European basketball, it's wild.
We're like the Union League.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, just look at the Eagles game that we're playing in Brazil. We can't wear our home color because of the rivalry the stadium we're playing with that they have, because the rivalry that they have is green.
I don't think we really even understand that.
No.
I don't think the NFL understands that. Like, I think they just they're going to make them wear their black jerseys just to kind of get out of that. But I think they didn't understand it. And how could you, right? If you're not of that culture, well, how do you know what's the world's like down there?
Well, it's funny because I was telling my fiance last night because, like, look, we were seeing all that, and that's why I love being an Eagles fan, because we're so passionate. But we would never, like, think about the last Super Bowl in 22. We're not going to try to sneak into State Farm Stadium to try to get into the Super Bowl. No, we're going to spend thousands of dollars to get into the stadium. But these fans, they were trying to do anything because.
They were going through the air conditioned vents.
Because
going through the vents. That's insane.
in their
It's
mind,
like a heist movie.
I know.
in their mind, they're probably thinking this is probably the only opportunity they'll see Colombia in the final. So they're like, we got to do anything possible to get in. We're going to sneak through the fence. We're going to climb this fence. We're going to fight the police officers. Unfortunately, that's not the right mindset, but that's what they were.
No, that's horrible. It's absolutely horrible.
Insane.
It really was. I mean, just the scenes were like they're almost chilling.
Yeah,
like you can have and it's one of the weekend 5. We have the 5 questions, but one of the weekend 5 questions is lawlessness. When you're in the middle of lawlessness, and that's what's so scary is that society can break down quickly before you know it.
What sucks too is because in the semifinals for Colombia, we had the players for Uruguay going in the stands to fight. And yet we didn't even learn from that moment. That was literally a week ago.
Yeah, I mean, I forgot about it. I didn't even see that, but I saw the highlights.
So mob mentality is very dangerous. When you have people together and they're fired up, anything can set them off, and it's very hard to control them if you're not prepared for it.
It is.
Scary stuff, guys.
It is just absolutely frightening.
We all silly like the mayor.